Education is the movement from darkness to light. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. Change is the end result of all true learning. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you, too, can become great. Either you run the day or the day runs you. Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. The best way to predict your future is to create it. Learning is not attained by chance. It must be sought for with ardor and diligence. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Children have to be educated, but they have also to be left to educate themselves. Education is what survives when what has been learned has been forgotten. Never be afraid to try something new. Remember, amateurs built the ark, but professionals built the Titanic. Learning never exhausts the mind. The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be ignited. The beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you. The only real failure in life is one not learned from. Education is one thing no one can take away from you. Education's purpose is to replace an empty mind with an open one. The whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows. Learning is not attained by chance, it must be sought for with ardor and attended to with diligence. You learn something new every day if you pay attention. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. A person who won't read has no advantage over a person who can't read. Education is not the filling of a pail but the lighting of a fire. Education is the key to unlock a golden door of freedom. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. You are always a student, never a master. You have to keep moving forward. The great aim of education is not knowledge but action. The goal of education is the advancement of knowledge and the dissemination of truth. The great difficulty in education is to get experience out of ideas. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. A good education is a foundation for a better future. Education must not simply teach work, it must teach life. I believe that education is all about being excited about something. Seeing passion and enthusiasm helps push an educational message. Everyone who remembers his own education remembers teachers, not methods and techniques. The teacher is the heart of the educational system. Education, then, beyond all other devices of human origin, is the great equalizer of the conditions of men, the balance wheel of the social machinery. All real education is the architecture of the soul. To be successful in life, what you need is education, not literacy and degrees. We all know that education unlocks the door of opportunity. For the young, the only person who is educated is the one who has learned how to learn and change. I did then what I knew how to do. Now that I know better, I do better. Everyone you will ever meet knows something you don't. The highest result of education is tolerance. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. To teach is to learn twice. The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. Education breeds confidence. Confidence breeds hope. Hope breeds peace. The art of teaching is the art of assisting discovery. Knowledge will bring you the opportunity to make a difference. Teachers are the one and only people who save nations. One child, one teacher, one book, one pen can change the world. You can never be overdressed or overeducated. Everything is a learning process. Anytime you fall over, it's just teaching you to stand up the next time. Learning allows us to make sense of the world around us, the world inside of us, and where we fit within the world. Education helps us get exposure to new ideas and concepts that we can use to appreciate and improve the world around us and the world within us. Change is the end result of all true learning. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Education without values, as useful as it is, seems rather to make man a more clever devil. The learning process continues until the day you die. The learning process continues until the day you die. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. Literacy is at the heart of sustainable development. You are never too young to lead, and you should never doubt your capacity to triumph where others have not. A developed country is one that allows all its citizens to enjoy a free and healthy life in a safe environment. Knowledge is power. Information is liberating. Education is the premise of progress in every society, in every family. To live is to choose, but to choose well, you must know who you are and what you stand for, where you want to go and why you want to get there. Education is a human right with immense power to transform. On its foundation rest the cornerstones of freedom, democracy, and sustainable human development. The problem is not with the faith, but with the faithful. Education is, quite simply, peace building by another name. It is the most effective form of defense spending there is. We need to think of the future and the planet we are going to leave to our children and their children. No one is born a good citizen, or a good Democrat, or a good leader. It takes time and education. National markets are held together by shared values and confidence in certain minimum standards, but in the new global market, people do not yet have that confidence. You can do a lot with diplomacy, but with diplomacy backed up by force you can get a lot more done. It has been said that arguing against globalization is like arguing against the laws of gravity. In the 21st century, I believe the mission of the United Nations will be defined by a new, more profound awareness of the sanctity and dignity of every human life, regardless of race or religion. I am often asked, what can people do to become a good global citizen? I reply that it begins in your own community. The beautiful thing about learning is that nobody can take it away from you. One learns by doing a thing for though you think you know it. You have no certainty until you try. All of us must cross the line between ignorance and insight many times before we truly understand. By education, I mean an all-round drawing of the best in child and man in body, mind and spirit. Education is learning what you didn't know you didn't know. Intelligence and education that hasn't been tempered by human affection isn't worth a damn. The aim of education is the knowledge, not of facts, but of values. The content of a book holds the power of education, and it is with this power that we can shape our future and change lives. The essence of knowledge is having it to apply it, not having it to confess your ignorance. Education is one thing no one can take away from you. Everybody's a teacher if you listen. The goal of education is to enable individuals to continue their education. The schools and colleges are really a factory for turning out clerks for government. The best teachers are those who show you where to look but don't tell you what to see. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. The difference between school and life. In school, you're taught a lesson and then given a test. In life, you're given a test that teaches you a lesson.